They are not reporting hate crimes. I think that's kind of interesting because it essentially means that we are not learning as a people how often that people like me and other marginalized members of groups are not being treated fairly, but are being targeted on account of our marginalization. Now, this trend of non-reporting, it's been happening for a while now, as a number have reportedly been declining for the third straight year when it comes to the number of reported hate crimes. And this is what we know per The Root. More than 12,000 law enforcement agencies reported 0 hate crimes. FBI numbers showed the list includes police departments in Miami, Little Rock, Arkansas, and Huntsville, Alabama. Just a handful of cities and towns in states like Alabama, Arkansas, and Florida bothered to report hate crimes in 2020, an analysis of data by Axios found. And this is really telling because one of the first tenets and the key tenets of white supremacy is acting like there's no racism. Same thing with anti-Semitism, acting like it doesn't exist. It's a figment of everyone's imagination that these forms of hate that don't exist. It's a way to ignore the structural racism, the structural embedded hate within our system. And Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clarke, who is pictured here, she noticed that. She told the Senate Judiciary Committee that more than 60% of reported hate crimes were motivated by race and ethnicity. Of those, more than half targeted Black Americans. During her testimony to the committee, Clarke also said this lack of accurate hate crime data not only makes it harder for law enforcement to address and prevent hate crimes, but also can cause individuals and communities victimized by acts of hate to believe that law enforcement agencies are not responding to their experiences. Accurate and complete data reporting is needed to ensure that resources deployed match the most pressing needs in our communities. That is what the Assistant AG Clarke said, and that is very much a truth. But again, it's the law enforcement who are not reporting this. And despite them not reporting these hate crimes, what we do know is that in 2020, the FBI reported that hate crimes had been at their highest level in 12 years. That figure jumped even further in 2021 by 44%, as noted in a study conducted by the Center for the Study of Hate, Crime, and Extremism at California State University, San Bernardino. This is truth, this is happening. The fact is that we know people are outliving their lives and being attacked because they're members of marginalized groups. Yet when the police arrive, they're not reporting such attacks. That also means that when it comes to prosecution, that prosecutors aren't hitting it with that heightened level of potential penalties and punishment because it was a hate crime. That also means that resources being allocated for addressing hate crimes are not being allocated, and people aren't being believed. This is exactly why I said the whole situation with Jussie Smollett, that it's not going to hamper or deter law enforcement in any way to responding to hate crimes, because this is how they've been responding since day one. Ray.
Yeah, and just what you were saying about prosecutors. I mean, we know that in this country, hate crimes are very rarely prosecuted, even when there is evidence, even when they are reported. Our prosecutorial system is pretty racist, and our criminal justice system is systemically racist. And there's these justifications for it, that they're difficult to convict, they're expensive to investigate and prosecute, or whatever BS reason they're giving, that they don't prosecute these. But that's like a ratio of the reported hate crimes, right? It's already extremely small. And now we know that it's probably a substantially larger number of hate crimes that are occurring than are being reported, than are being prosecuted. And it just shows that at every level, there is deep, deep injustice in our criminal justice system, and deep, deep racism.